I'm drinking out of this mug. My grandmother got it for me. I'm gonna put makeup on and tell you about stuff today. It's multitasking, although it probably takes longer than just regularly putting on my makeup, so it's not really that effective. But today I want to talk about social media and what I've gone through lately. A few weeks ago, I decided to step away from social media for about a week, not use anything but, you know, like texting. That's it. Not even YouTube. I know. Tragic. The reason why I decided to do that was because I was feeling very trapped in expectations of me, or expectations to be relevant. I felt like I need to post, or I need to like uphold a certain image, or I kept trying to assign adjectives to who I am, which is kind of unhealthy when you're growing as a person and you're still a young person, to like steadily assign adjectives to who you are. Or I was trying to create just like an image, and it was driving me insane. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna step off of social media and care about things that are in front of me more. I was like, maybe I'll read more, maybe I'll watch more films, maybe I'll be a little more cultured. So that's what I did. And I learned a few things just from stepping back. The first thing I learned was that my stress level went down a pretty good bit. Basically what I would do is in the morning or at the end of the night, I would like look through people's Instagram stories. Instagram stories are the worst for like FOMO. Like I can look through your Facebook posts, I can look through the stuff that you like retweet and stuff, but when I see your Instagram stories and all the cool stuff you're doing, that is where the FOMO kicks in, and that's where the comparison kicks in. The first thing I realized was that I wasn't nearly as stressed about my image or about, you know, like what I was putting out, because I wasn't putting out anything. And I didn't care because I didn't have to be a part of it. Like I kind of like stepped out of the chaos, and I didn't have such intense, you know, fear of missing out or comparison issues or jealousy, which is totally fueled by social media. And if you don't watch it, it'll completely get out of control if you don't like step back and actually talk to yourself, because it's kind of mindless and soul-sucking. The second thing I learned is that this concealer is really good. That's not what I learned. The second thing I learned was that social media was kind of stealing my creativity or like ingenuity, if that makes any sense. Basically with social media, it's like you're scrolling through feeds and images and words constantly with people being like, look at my brain, this is what my brain says, like throwing all these like millions and millions of thoughts at you. Maybe not millions, thousands, hundreds. And that way I wasn't able to produce anything original. Anything original from my brain felt like it was just another thought from like someone else's brain. Like it felt as though I wasn't able to be as creative as I needed to be because I was so inundated with trends and what people are doing. So I wasn't able to kind of go in my own direction. And when there are pathways that are so narrow in trends and in society and in social media, you really can't break out of those pathways unless you step back from the practice. And so it was very freeing to be a part of the world without trying to keep up with others' creative thoughts and others' trends, and being able to kind of reflect on my own brain. And just, I got really comfortable with sitting in silence. So when I was like standing in line or waiting for something, waiting around, I would get the urge to pull out my phone, but slowly that urge faded and I was more comfortable with sitting with my thoughts, letting my brain just kind of like go through its processes without being inundated with just scrolling through images and words. And not that other people's images and words are a bad thing and you shouldn't consume them, but it should be a balance. Your brain should have its own time to marinate. That sounds disgusting. Like when I came back to social media, I realized that there were things that I had missed that I'm kind of glad I missed. Like things that went on like Instagram, like things that had happened in past and like events that if I had seen them, I would have devoted energy and thought toward those things without need. Like there's no need to devote energy to something that I am not part of. Something else I noticed was that I was so much more productive. My time was so much better spent. I find that when I'm searching through or scrolling through social media mindlessly, it is impossible for me to break the cycle. Not impossible, obviously, but it's hard to break the cycle from Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter. I wanna check Instagram again. I wanna check Twitter again. Facebook, Snapchat, Snapchat stories, Instagram stories, like going back and forth, because there's always new things to see. And I could sit there all day and waste my day away just staring at my screen when there are better things to do with my time. I was much more present in the moment. I was able to focus on what was right in front of me and what I needed to do and what I needed to think about, rather than being somewhere else through a screen or being an absolute zombie. And I don't like being that person. I want to be present, and I want to be with the people I'm with, and I want to be with my thoughts. It is such an addictive thing that I didn't realize, that I was like turning to social media so much. Like every time I open Instagram, it's like a dopamine rush, which is insane and crazy and wrong, and it's an addiction. And I realized that I'm almost done talking and I haven't finished my makeup yet. I knew this would happen. If you abuse social media, your creativity will be drained, most likely. You'll feel a lot of jealousy that is absolutely unnecessary. You'll devote energy and time to things that don't concern you or your life and things that don't necessarily matter. And you'll become a soulless zombie trendy creature. Oh, you'll be trendy. But it doesn't matter when you're just a sheep. Cool, now I'm gonna finish my makeup and come back in a second. I'm done, cool. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I love you. Okay? And goodbye. Goodbye.